Hello everybody, good evening, good afternoon and good morning and welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest Manchester United transfer news, of which we're going to be talking about a Frenkie de Jong new bid going in. I'm nervous about this. It's a news show. I don't want to be doing this, but look, this is the development and we are approaching Glazer Friday. So maybe this is why there is some developments. I've almost predicted it. So let's get straight into that. We'll also be talking about the change of captaincy. A few journalists have been talking this morning. And I must admit, I will say from the very start. In fact, let me just get this out. So Manchester United are making a new bid for Frenkie de Jong. £80 million plus Harry Maguire. It's a new offer and they're hoping they're going to take it. I'm lying. That's a joke. No, Manchester United. And I would like to clarify this. It's not an official bid. United don't do official bids. They almost put an offer in, which is not an official bid. So basically, and I think Fabrizio said this morning, €86 million is what Barcelona want. And I think, and I did write it down somewhere, that comes in at about £73 million. Manchester United have been offering 60, 65, 70 plus odd add-ons in relation to euros. This new Manchester United offer is €75 million, which is about £64 million, plus 10 in add-ons, which will get it to €85 million. So it should satisfy Barcelona, who apparently want €86 million outright. United are going to offer around €75 million plus €10 million in add-ons, which will therefore hit €85 million, which is what Barcelona want anyway. So look, I do feel a little bit, I don't want to dwell on this, I want to talk about lots of other things, but if you watch the morning show, I was very frustrated. I'm getting very tired of what's going on with United. I'm bored to death of the de Jong transfer, to be honest with you. But I do feel a bit of rejuvenation from this information that's coming in that Manchester United are going to go to €75 million, which, to be honest with you, £64 million plus another 5 or 6 in add-ons takes us to £70 million, takes us to roughly what Barcelona want. Let's get this bloody deal done. Let's get it done as soon as possible and open the floodgates to other deals. So, look, United were in conversation yesterday with Barcelona. Today, let's get it done. Because Barcelona are moving... I read something about Barcelona today that they're moving forward with Koundé. They want to get Christensen. They're trying to get this Lewandowski deal done. They're in a traffic jam. We're in a traffic jam. Let's move forward. And you know what? I think €75 million, 64 million sterling pounds. I think that's probably about right. We're not buying sterling, by the way. That's just the currency we use in England. So yeah, I think. I just think let's get it done. At this point, I'm not actually bothered. I know I said a few weeks ago, let's get him for £60 million, but I just think get the deal done and get out. So €75 million is the bid that is apparently going to go in. And it's all falling into place with what we predicted at the start of the week, that United will somehow get something positive out before Friday, because we know the dividend's going out on Friday. So expect that to come through. But look, we know we're deep in conversation with de Jong. And I suppose the next thing before I move on, I would say is, if this bid goes in and it gets accepted, what happens then? Well, obviously, we've got to agree the personal terms with de Jong, who, as I've said time and time again, is not sitting there with United thrashing out his wages or anything like that. The situation with Frenkie de Jong is that he knows that he's probably going to end up coming to Manchester United, back with Erik ten Hag, but still harbours hopes that this all falls down and he stays at Barcelona. And you might not like that, but that's always been the situation. So then tomorrow we're going to offer 85 outright and get de Jong. These clowns should have saved the embarrassment and just get the deal done and move on, says Gabriel. Gabriel, I think you make a great point there, by the way. Just because we're putting this offer in doesn't mean it's going to get accepted. United, if you're interested in the financials, and I am to a certain extent, United have been trying to get him for about 60 million. They've been trying to do sort of add-ons of totaling €70 million. Barcelona want €86 million or something like that. So this will just be a halfway house. 75 million plus 10 in add-ons in euros. So we'd still be getting a good deal. €75 million is £64 million. Just get it done. If Barcelona turn that down, what have we been doing for 9 weeks? If Barcelona want more than €75 million, what have we been doing for 9 weeks? Like, get the offer in and get out. That's what I think. By the time the deal goes through, he's going to be Frenkie de Old, says Jamie. Yeah, I just want to get. You know what I want? What I want to happen with Frenkie de Jong. I want to get back to thinking about Frenkie de Jong and the structure at Manchester United. Because I think he's a good player. I do. And that's what I want to get to. But we've been drowned out by this. What's the joke about Maguire added in the deal, says Mull? It was a joke. I'm not going to... If you have to retell a joke, it's not a joke. Anyway, look, I ain't going to mess around with that for too long. It is new news. It is what it is. And we're all bored of Frenkie de Jong. I accept that. But that's where we are at with that. If you don't want to believe it, if you don't want to listen to it, don't do this. Like you said last week, Thursday could be the day, says TG. I don't really care. We've got a great community. If you don't want to believe it, if you don't like the story, you know, get your trainers on and go for a jog and put the word on next to it. I don't care. Already been proven right on a number of deals this summer. Anthony, Sterling, Rafinha. So look, let's see what happens. Information's good, and if you don't believe the information, there's something coming up in a couple of weeks where you'll start to see where I'm getting this information from, but I can't give you too much about that at the moment because that's another big announcement. But there, anyway, let's move on. So I don't know whether you saw it. Just let's catch you up with some of the latest news. Samuel Luckhurst has said in a Q&A that Manchester United are considering changing the captaincy. Remember, I mentioned this morning. This was a conversation that Ten Hag has had with Cristiano Ronaldo about him staying. Captaincy was rumoured to be a big part of that. It's interesting that we're now... I mean, to be fair to Samuel Luckhurst, he was answering a question in a Q&A about the captaincy changing, and he referenced the fact that Erik Ten Hag said in his interview back in May or June, was it? That I think it was May, that he didn't commit to Maguire being the captaincy. Look, I'm not going to get into the debate of who the captaincy should be. It should be Ronaldo for the next year until we find the new captain. And maybe if you bring De Jong in and he settles that well, you give De Jong the captaincy in a year, maybe somebody else. But at the moment, Ronaldo is the best candidate we have to be the captain of Manchester United. But what I will say is this shouldn't even be a debate. If there is anybody at Manchester United, forget the fan base, if there's anybody at Manchester United debating whether we should change the captaincy or not, what hole have you had your head down for the last year? I mean, come on, he ain't a captain. He's not the captain. And also, we are Manchester United. Somebody should not get another year to see if they can become a captain. He's had a year. That's the worst season we've ever had in Premier League history. He had the captain's armband on. Take it off him. He's not a captain. And let him focus on being a defender. Because I still think there's hope for Maguire as a defender. I know some people saying you're an absolute idiot for that, but the captaincy shouldn't be up for debate. He ain't the captain. He doesn't deserve to be the captain. He's had his chance. If he becomes the captain in a year or two again, fair play to him. But let's get it to someone like Ronaldo, because you need that sort of a leader in the dressing room as far as I'm concerned. Now, I do just want to mention James Robson. I think he's at goal now. I don't know. I mean, you'll know his name. Yeah, I think he used to be one of the broadsheets in the UK, but he's now goal. He says Anthony has made it clear he wants to join his former manager at Old Trafford. The reason I'm reading out these quotes from James Robson is because wherever he's getting his information from, it's very good. Very good, and you'll see why in a minute, because a lot of it we've been talking about. So Anthony's made it clear he wants to join his former manager at Old Trafford. We've been on about this for a couple of weeks. Anthony is desperate to join Manchester United. In fact, that's what the show was about last night. But it develops quite well, because he says that Ten Hag remains a big admirer of Anthony and identified him as a target during a transfer summit with football director John Murtagh in Amsterdam last month. Yes, again, we've been on about this. This Anthony is not a new target. This is a player that when Ten Hag met with United, he said, this is a priority. De Jong, Anthony, Timber, Darwin Núñez. 4 priorities, go and get me them. They couldn't get Darwin Núñez. Who knows what's happening with Timber? But Anthony's been on that list from start, so he's absolutely spot on with this. And then the hat trick for me, I mean, he's getting good information, because he says Inter Milan's Denzel Dumfries has been identified as a potential right back, while attentions are now turning to Lisandro Martinez, with the club unable to get a move out of Jurrien Timber. So, well, fair play to him. He's getting some good information in there, because again, we've mentioned Dumfries for the last 3 or 4 weeks, that he is the right back that Ten Hag wants. I'm not convinced we're going to get a right back. I know a lot of us liked Jed Spence. He's probably going to go to Spurs, or maybe he'll go back to Forest. I don't know. United are not in conversations with him at the moment. But we do want a right back, and this will feed into something Samuel Luckhurst in the Manchester Evening has said as well. Mark Maguire is trash, face it, says yeah. Hi, missed the start. How confident would the second bid would be accepted, says Ray Carl, who's been a member for 39 months. Ray, big shout out to you. I don't know, Ray. I can't tell you whether that bid's going to get accepted. So the bid that United are going to put in is €75 million. And let's be honest, it probably won't be an official bid. It'll be a Would you accept that? And if Barcelona say no, they won't put the official bid in. That's how United tend to work. But they should accept 75 million euros with 10 in add-ons, but we'll see. Mark, let's not get distracted from the dividends with the captaincy. Dale, I won't be getting distracted from that. Don't worry, we will be talking about those dividends. Don't you worry about that. Have we missed out on any genuine targets because of delays in this De Jong deal? Maybe if maybe Timber stays, Nunez wanted Liverpool anyway, says Joshua. I think the Ajax thing is the big thing there, Joshua, that we know of. Because we've been wasting time on the De Jong deal, and we have wasted time. He's not a waste of time, but it has taken a long time, so therefore we've wasted time. It's allowed other people to go to Ajax and buy players, and it's made Ajax go, we don't really want to sell anyone else. So yeah, I think that we have ultimately wasted time that may come back and bite us on the arse, if we're honest with you. Mark, how many players do you think we're going to sign, says Glazer? Look, I think what really encouraged me, and I don't know whether we've got the quote for it, I don't think we have, but one thing James Robson did say in his article, and this is the reason I've put his quotes up really, because everything he said, and I don't speak to the guy, so that we're not sharing information. I don't get any information from him, but I'll always shout somebody out when I know that information is good because it's information we've been getting. Anthony, tick. Dumfries, tick. And what was something else he said where it was a tick as well. But he also goes on to say that United have got their deals in order. They've done a lot of groundwork on on transfers. Thanks for the super chat, Tom. They've done a lot of groundwork on transfers already, and they're basically lined up to go once they get this De Jong thing sorted. So I feel a little bit more. Well, I've always said we'll sign players. We will sign players. It's just when we sign them and who we sign. And if we assign 4 players in August, it's a bloody joke. You need them in now to learn how to play when we're back in pre-season. But I am slightly more confident than I was this morning in the sense that I think if we can just finalise this De Jong deal, we can do other deals quick. I hope United don't do what they used to do, where they'll take 6 or 7 weeks to sign a player like De Jong, and then for the next 2 weeks it's all, look at De Jong playing the piano, look at De Jong in the new kit, look at De Jong in the away kit, look at De Jong in the training kit, look at De Jong with the scarf on, look at De Jong running around Carrington in his Speedos. Maybe I imagine that one, I don't know, but you know what I mean. Even when we've signed a player, we can milk it for another couple of weeks. What we need to do is go bang, 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 and get these deals done. What happens after 48 hours and still no signings, says Cameron? Well, not a lot, Cameron, to be honest with you, other than it's a pure disgrace if the first money we spend in this summer transfer window is to pay the Glazers money. I'm not going to dwell on this because I keep saying it and I will keep saying it, but no other club in the Premier League takes money out of their club. We do it twice a year. Well, the Glazers do it twice a year. We're in a massive transfer window, and the first money we spend is to pay the Glazers. That is almost unpalatable. It's almost unbelievable, but it probably will happen. New bid Barca rejects was wash, rinse, repeat until August and we panic buy, says give it to Mike. Hey, mate, I can't guarantee, nobody can guarantee that we are going to get this bid accepted. And nobody can guarantee that Barcelona are going to accept it straight away. And God knows what the delays are that's going on. Hi, Mark, always appreciate your updates. Do you think we will pay the exact 86 million that Barca wants, says Ryan? Look, 75 million euros plus 10 in add-ons is 85 million euros. They want 86 million euros up front, which is 73 million pounds. So I've seen United fans saying, look, Frenkie de Jong for 73 million pounds, it's a good deal, let's get it done. I don't think it is. I don't think 73 million, 86 million euros paid outright is a good deal for United. I think they're desperate for money. I think they came to us about this deal as much as we went to them. And I think 75 million euros plus 10 in add-ons is sufficient because they end up getting the 85 they want, but we don't have to pay any more than 64 million quid now, which leaves us some budget left to do the business we want to do. Of course, Barcelona, they want as much money as they can get right now so they can reinvest it. We want to spend as little as we can so we can reinvest the rest of it. So I think this is the right deal. I think 75 million euros, 64 million pounds plus 10 million euros in add-ons is a good deal. I think it's a good deal for Barcelona. I think it's a fair deal for us. I think we should just get it done. But I don't really understand why we've taken this long to get to this point, and I don't really understand why Barcelona have... I don't know. I think United probably thought Barcelona were more vulnerable than they were, and I think Barcelona probably knew that money was going to come in, so they didn't need to sell him super cheap, and now we're just getting to the point where we need to establish the right fee. Hi Mark, assuming we get De Jong, who do you think Ten Hag will play alongside him, says Carl. Well, I'm hoping we're going to get another signing. I mean, Carl, you just lead into a great point there, and I don't think I've ever put this out here, but I will do it. Mark Turner says, this De Jong deal gives me Maguire feelings, and Wan-Bissaka. Has anything changed? We will pay what Barca want. Also, can you call Lucy a prat? That's from Mark. And Mark, I think the problem with the Glazers is that the NFL Super Bowl is their top priority. Man United is just a financial business to them, says Myron. Well, they've won the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, and most NFL teams don't win the Super Bowl regularly. I mean, I know New England did it, but it's not a normal occurrence. There was a point I wanted to just go back to there. Who do you think Ten Hag will play alongside him, says Carl Walsh. Yeah, so Enzo Fernandez, Konrad Laimer, they were both players that were put forward by Rangnick. So all the links to Enzo Fernandez and Konrad Laimer of Leipzig and Enzo Fernandez of River Plate, they were Rangnick. That was Rangnick's suggestions. Those were players that Rangnick said we should have gone and got. Players who were ready to take the step up for about 20 million quid to rebuild the team and get some volume of quality in. That's what Rangnick was suggesting. Those types of players, and there are some others as well, they're not players that are really that United are looking at the moment. So Ivan Whelan, sorry about that. I've always said like the chat's very, very quick. Apologies if we haven't read your super chats. We do try to. To be honest, the blue ones just whiz through really, really quickly, and they don't stay on the top, so it is difficult to read them all. Let me just get rid of this as well. You know what? I did say this at the start of the video. I was very, very nervous about doing this video at the start because I've noticed the toxicity that's really seeping into the fan base. I see it in some people's comments under the videos. Like, I'm just bringing you the news. I'm not the CEO. I'm not the director of football, and I'm not the manager. And neither is anybody in this community. So if you don't like transfers or is it causing you so much stress, go and get a dog and take it for a walk. Like, don't start attacking people who actually like to communicate and use this community as therapy or whatever you want to call it. Don't start bringing your toxicity in here, because we've got no control over United bidding for a player. We've got no control of when it's going to happen. We're just fans talking about the news. That's all it is. And if you don't like it, I would implore you to go and do something else with your time, because some of us just enjoy the community and the chat. Some of you clearly don't. You don't have to watch it. It's probably better for your health if you don't. But yeah, I was nervous about doing this video today, because it's like you get a bit of information, you share it with the community, and you just get toxic people who just don't understand the way a transfer window works. We're not in control of it. It's as simple as that. But going back to that, Enzo Fernandez, Konrad Laimer, these are players that many of us would like to buy, but they were suggestions from the Rangnick era that since Ten Hag has come in, they're not even on the agenda at the moment. It's De Jong, it's Anthony, it's Timber, it was Darwin Nunez. Nobody knows who the other midfielder is, or even if we're going to go for another midfielder. I mean, Samuel Lucas, James Ducker, there's been other journalists who've mentioned that the focus is on the midfield. Does that mean the focus is on De Jong, or is it midfield more than one? I think some people take it that the focus is on the midfield, so we're going to buy two midfielders, but beyond De Jong, it's De Jong, isn't it? Let's be honest. Even if we didn't get De Jong, is it Ruben Neves? If we do get De Jong, are we going for another midfielder? And the honest answer is, nobody knows. But Enzo Fernandez, Konrad Laimer, they're not players that United are looking at the moment. They were suggestions from the Rangnick era. Hi Mark, do you think a big reason they bought in Ten Hag is to work hard on the academy breakthroughs to almost compete with Ajax? What background staff has come with Ten Hag, says Shauna. That's a really good point. We know that he's brought in his assistant. Alexander says, are you religious? I don't know what that's got to do with anything. We're talking about football. What are we going to do? Start praying for De Jong deal? I think that you know, the coaching staff of De Jong is really interesting. How he's going to get the best out of people like Van der Beek and improve people like Rashford and Bruno, it's really interesting. But I think at the moment, there's no point getting into that until we go on the tour and we get closer to games. I can't wait for those sort of conversations. But at the moment, I think we're all still... You know what it is? I would say with Manchester United at the moment, and my message to Manchester United would be with this. If you as a club are frustrated by the fans, have you ever thought why the fans are frustrated? The fans are frustrated because they want things to change. They want to be excited. They want the new United. They want to turn their back on last season and focus on next season. And you know where United have got it wrong? We're still living in last season as the fans because we've got absolutely nothing to make us think about next season. Even the last week when the fixtures came out, oh, we're playing Brighton and Brentford and Liverpool. Yeah, but it's not exciting because we're going to have to use the same players as last year. We've still got a foot in last season when a lot of clubs are... I mean, even Arsenal, they're looking at next season. We've not left last season yet, and that's why fans are fed up, and that's why fans are getting frustrated, because we haven't done anything other than Ten Hag, but we know that Ten Hag can't get those players playing well. He needs to buy players. We're still stuck in last season until we bring some players in. We're still stuck in last season, aren't we? There was something else I wanted to bring in as well. Where was it? Done that. Where was it? I mean, it's almost going from one controversial topic to another here, because I'm sure you're going to love this. So, we'll do this one first. Manchester United have informed Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Brandon Williams they are free to leave, which could give them leverage to recruit an upgrade at full-back. That's coming in from Samuel Luckhurst. Yeah, I mean, this is going to lead to the controversial comments that I think a lot of people got their knickers in a twist about on social media this morning. But this one makes a lot of sense. I think Samuel Luckhurst said this as well. I think Alex Telles is going to survive at Manchester United next season. I know he's not very popular with a lot of people. I don't think Alex Telles is all that. I really don't. I don't think he's that good. Maybe, hopefully, Ten Hag can get another gear out of him, but he ain't all that. But it's the right-hand side we're clearly focusing on here. Brandon Williams could bring a bit of money in, and I think it'd be a good signing for a... I could see Brandon Williams, if he decided to play at right-back, if Forest don't get Spence, he could go there and do a job. Maybe at Bournemouth he could do a job. I think he's that level. I mean, Southampton were interested in him before, so I think he can do a job in the bottom half of a Premier League side, and he can do it for about 10, 12, 15 million. So I think that's a good deal. Wan-Bissaka is very difficult to get rid of, but this to me shows that we're focused on a right back, and I would keep an eye out on Denzel Dumfries. I know Malacia at Feyenoord's been mentioned at left back. I can't see us getting a right back and a left back, and I think at the moment it looks like we're shifting right backs out more than left backs, because I know Brandon Williams says he's a left back, but it's Telles and Shaw at left back really. One of those has got to go if you're going to bring Malacia in, and I think Telles might end up surviving. One thing that's good in this transfer window is that we're not looking at any overhyped English players, says Abhishek. I tell you what, that's a good point actually. For the first time in a long time, we're not going expensive English players, are we? To be honest, Mark, I think delaying De Jong to signing it will be more problematic to Barcelona than us. My Barca friend is panicking because they are not able to register players they sign on free, says Jay. Well, look, Barcelona are potentially going to miss out on Rafinha because of the delays. So, look, I'm hopeful that this new bid will get accepted and we can get some movement, because I think Barcelona's transfer summer is on hold, and I think ours is on hold at the moment, and we both need to free each other up, because beyond De Jong, we're not competing for the same sort of players anyway, so they can go off and do their thing and we can go off and do ours. Any news on Eriksen and Dumfries, says Mikael. It's quiet on Dumfries other than we like him. Eriksen's making his mind up. I was really surprised when I realised just how much we can save on wages for all the players rumoured to leave, even without transfer fees, says Glenn. And if we are having a restricted budget, would you be keen to bring Dani Alves for a year or two? I would, says Jay. I don't know. I mean, Dani Alves has retired once, hasn't he? It's one thing to go back and play in La Liga. He's never played in the Premier League in his life. I think it might be beyond Dani Alves at his age to come and play in the Premier League. Then again, Thiago Silva did okay. Mark, if this... But then again, fullbacks, it's way more running, isn't it? Mark, if this won't happen, but I want De Jong for 75, Anthony for 45, Timber for 35, Dumfries for 20 and Eriksen. I like it, Adam, but I would much rather get a Lema or an Enzo Fernandez or a Sangari in the midfield as well. I really would like to see us buy another midfielder. And this is the one that's going to cause the problems. I'm almost more nervous about giving you this than I was the De Jong story, because De Jong stories are massively frustrating for everybody I know. Okay, this is from Samuel Lucas. Get ready. Figures at Manchester United regard Luke Shaw as a top draw fullback despite his come down from a superb 2021 season and European Championship campaign with England. I'll just wait for that to hit the chat. I mean, look, on a serious note, I have seen people on Twitter responding with the only thing top draw about Luke Shaw is when he's got his hand in it taking biscuits, which I think is just, it's waitist, isn't it? We don't need that sort of thing. But I like Luke Shaw, I don't make any apologies. I think the great thing about the community we have and other communities is that you can actually express your opinion in a way that, it's got a bit of banter about it. It's a bit of fun about it. This is something that you're never going to get. I never got when I was growing up with Match of the Day and stuff like that. So I actually agree with that. I think that Luke Shaw had a terrible season last year. But I do think that in a transitional period, he's not the priority. I wouldn't say it's the same as De Gea. De Gea's on a different level to Luke Shaw. For me, he's one of our best players. But I would almost say it's the same thing where if we're thinking about replacing Luke Shaw this summer, we've got it completely wrong. Like, there are holes in that team, and for me, Luke Shaw's not a hole in the team. I think he is still capable of doing us a job for a year or two, if he wants to. I mean, let's not forget, Luke Shaw was on England duty basically saying he was happier there than he was at United. So if he's in the right frame of mind and he can get back to the player I think he is, then I'm more than happy with Luke Shaw, and I think he's a really, really good player. His stamina to go back and forward defensively and getting forward is great, and I think with a better coach he'll be even better. So I think Luke Shaw can be a very important player for us next year. I'm not saying I wouldn't change him if we had the complete team, and I think that would probably be the same with a few players. You could even throw De Gea in that one, Bruno in that one, maybe even Ronaldo in that one. If the team was perfect and you were just looking to spend 100 million, maybe you do get a 100 million pound striker. I don't know, but where we are at the moment, we've got very big holes in that team in the midfield, at centre back, on the right wing, and I think that Luke Shaw is a player that we really should be using next season. Nathan says his stamina is awful. Mate, do you actually watch football, Nathan? Come on. Luke Shaw, I bet he covers more distance than most Man United players, and his ability to overlap constantly and then get back defending, I think that's one of his biggest assets. I think his ability to go up and down, up and down, up and down like a yo-yo, and I'd argue that with anybody. I really would. I think he has got fantastic stamina levels. But also as well, I don't know whether you saw this. There was a tweet that went out a couple of days ago, and it was talking about where Manchester United's chance creation comes from. And I think it was something like 36% of our chances were created from the left-hand side and only 31 from the right-hand side. Now, some people might say, well, 31's close to 36. But actually, you want equality. You want sort of like 33-33. 36 to 31 really exposes that even though we were crap last year, our left-hand side is still stronger than the right-hand side. And I think a lot of that comes from the fact that Luke Shaw knows how to get back and forward, and that Delo and Wan-Bissaka really didn't do it as well as they could have done. So look, I don't think Luke Shaw is like one of our best players. I certainly think he had a bad season last year, and I would own that. But I don't think he's a player that at any point I've thought, let's sell Luke Shaw and buy a left-back, because we've got... I mean, look, as we've said, we've got to sell Jones, Bailly, Wan-Bissaka, Brandon Williams, Twan Sebi, Martial, Dean Henderson. I mean, plus the 5 that have walked out the club on frees. Like, Luke Shaw's not in that equation. Maybe next summer, which means he's got a year. And I'd be very happy with that. Bruno, says someone there. Bruno. Mark, do you think Eric will get our Bruno back to his best, says Andy and Bruno? I hope so. I think it's sad what's happened with Bruno. I think he's almost become... somebody that's lost that relationship with the fans. I mean, I've seen Bruno play in bad United sides, but he's played well, and it's sort of like, where would we be without Bruno? To now, he's part of the problem. I think the fall off of Bruno is really sad. He definitely was that type of player that even when we were shit, we'd go, where would we be without Bruno? And now, I remember one of our moderators, Paul Robinson, saying this when we first bought Bruno. I wonder how long it will be before he becomes crap like everyone else does at the club. And it was sort of, you almost thought, what are you on about? And he's actually been proven right. Bruno has just become Maguire, Rashford, and everybody else that underperforms. And he's become infected by whatever the toxic element is at United. And it's a big season for Bruno because, you know, you've got people like Ricky who don't rate him anyway, and fair play to him. But then you've got people who did rate Bruno who've just become fed up with his actions, his petulance, and his, you know, his performance. But even last season, he was still doing relatively well. But no, we need to get the proper Bruno back. And also, he's never been coached properly in his time at United. You know, Bruno's whole career has been Ollie. So imagine what can happen with proper coaching. I think Bruno's got gears in him, yeah. If Barcelona won't sell De Jong by the start of July, why are we even thinking United will get something done this month, says Jonathan. Removing Luke Shaw and kept other people like cutting bigger nails and hold broken spine, says Sabatashi. Okay, that probably made sense to somebody. I'm not sure why United do this every window, where we always spend 80% of the window going for one player, then nothing happens. Pissed off, says Contra. And I agree entirely with Luke Shaw. He's been decent, but 15 assists over the years isn't enough. And once we get functional, we will upgrade, says Carl. Yeah, I think he's a second phase, Carl. I think he's a second phase player, where you go, if there's no improvements in Luke Shaw by next summer, you replace him. But I don't think he's a season one issue. And I know people don't like it, but I don't think Maguire's a season one issue either. I think there are other things that need to be done before Maguire, Rashford, Shaw, Bruno. I'd say those four, and there are a couple of others as well. Fred, maybe. Fred falls into that category. And to be honest, even McTominay falls into that category. They're not players that we're going to get rid of in season one, but if they don't improve over the next season, then you get rid of them in season two. And I'm open. That's what is that not what a rebuild's all about? We're not playing FIFA or Football Manager where you just sell 20 players. We're playing real life Manchester United, and as much as I don't rate some of those players I've just mentioned, they were never in my mind, let's sell them in season one. Lindelof would be in that equation as well. Dalot would be in that equation. And I'm not saying I want to sell them. I'm just saying that, you know, they could be sold. Are they good enough? There's a question mark there. But I think you've got to keep them this year for some stability. Give them another year, because there's other people who need to go first. Definitely. Wan-Bissaka, TG. I think it's time to go for Wan-Bissaka. I like Wan-Bissaka. I predicted last year that he was going to have a big season, so I was very disappointed. But I think it's very obvious that he's not suitable for Manchester United, and it's best for him to move on, and he's been told he's got to move on. So, yeah, let's see. Anyway, look, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the show. You know, I think we will get to happier times. I really do believe that if once we've got one deal done, it will just make us feel a lot more relaxed. And the onus is on United to do that. And let's hope that this new bid to Barcelona is acceptable, because if it's not, I don't really know what we've been doing for 9 weeks. Because if Barcelona aren't going to shift on a fee of 86 million euros at all, then we've wasted 9 weeks, and maybe we should have walked away a long time ago. But I'm hoping 75 million euros plus 10 million euros, somewhere around that, we'll find a deal that suits Barcelona, and we can move on, and they can move on, and then it's just about how happy Frenkie de Jong's going to be, because I think the person who wants this to fall apart the most is probably Frenkie de Jong, if we're honest. I think he openly wants to stay at Barcelona, but on the other hand, if he knows Barcelona is selling him, he'll be happy to come to United. So anyway, I am on Twitch at 3:10. It is Wednesday, so I am on Twitch. What a game it was against Napoli yesterday, wasn't it? So I need to be on it properly. About 3:10, I'll see you on there. Thanks everyone for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, smash a like on the video, and if you want to join the members club, you can do that through that. And we're back at 8 o'clock tonight. Let's see if we can get some big update. That's what we all want, you know, Ornstein or something like that. Speak to you all in a bit. Thanks for watching. Oh, I love how you're thinking, Mark, and especially when you said Ronaldo wants the players here and now he can see. Andreas, thank you very much for your super chat. I really appreciate it. Take care, everyone. I am on career mode in about half an hour on Twitch.